What is up, XRP community? Holy bleep. I have uncovered something absolutely insane. You're going to want to see that. Some general crypto things. I want to talk about regulation, some developments in the lawmaking sphere. Let's hop right into it. Congrats to the giveaway winner. Also, guys, look at these fake YouTube comments and on all crypto videos across all YouTube. Just a reminder, stay safe, guys. That's not me. I'll never ask you to message me. If you guys want to be eligible for the daily $10 giveaway, like the video, subscribe, and comment anything in the YouTube comments below. So Bitcoin is sitting at 20K, and the pivotal level for Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin continues its bullish momentum, that's going to be good for XRP, and that's going to be good for all altcoins. This rally is after the CPI data. The inflation numbers were looking like they're getting a little bit better, even though the inflation numbers are all a lie. So if you're looking at Bitcoin, 21K is the level that you're going to want to keep your eye on. And another bullish indicator here. Side note, if you guys use Twitter, give me a follow on Twitter, DrippyXRP. Links in the video description below. Bitcoin miners have stopped selling and started buying Bitcoin. So you see for almost the entire year, they have been selling Bitcoin because they have to pay for these high energy costs. They have to make a profit. And now for the first time, they're buying Bitcoin again. So we could see some short-term bullish momentum. However, I firmly believe Bitcoin's going to 11K. We're going to see a lot more dips. In my video 1 to 2 days ago, I talked about this. The big bear market downturn throughout the past century has happened after the Federal Reserve pivots their interest rate strategy. So the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates. Once they stop raising interest rates and slash interest rates, that's when the real bear market's going to hit. And then 6 months after that, we see a bull. Moving forward here, I want to play this clip from Stuart Alderati, head Ripple lawyer, talking about regulation and for the situation that Ripple's in, why it's good.
Asking a lawyer to answer anything in a minute is hard. It usually takes 30 seconds just to say on the one hand and 30 seconds to say on the other hand, but let's give it a shot. Hi, this is Stu Alderati, and this is Crypto in a Minute. So crypto regulation is healthy because, well, actually, first, there's a misconception that actors in the crypto space do not want regulation. And I think responsible actors in the crypto space actually do want regulation. And the reason they want regulation, it's good for their business, it's good for their customers, it's good for the markets. And the way you get there is through clear regulation. Clear regulation consistently applied leads to predictable outcomes, and predictable outcomes are good for everybody. If you don't know what the law requires, you can't comply with the law. And the law inconsistently applied leads to unpredictable outcomes, which at the end of the day is not going to be good for.
We don't want unpredictable outcomes. Companies like Ripple that have $1 billion in cash, they want regulatory clarity. They want to know what rules they can break and what rules they can't break. Keep in mind, guys, Ripple already has hundreds of banks using their RippleNet software. They don't use XRP because no large bank like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Bank of Santander, these people have hundreds of lawyers, and they're not going to say, hey, use an unregulated cryptocurrency. That's just not smart from a legal perspective. But they're already sold on Ripple. They already use RippleNet, which doesn't use XRP. But Ripple, my point is, Ripple's foot is already in the door. And so once XRP has regulatory clarity, not if, but when, then the floodgates really start to open because all these banks are already onboarded. This is interesting. So Linkto is a leading private investment firm, and it allows investors to buy companies before they go public. Ripple stocks, again, available for accredited investors. So you can only do this if you're an accredited investor, aka super wealthy. But Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has said after this lawsuit, Ripple plans to go public. Right now, you can essentially buy into Ripple before they go public through Linkto. And look at what the head of Linkto says. Ripple is now available on the Linkto platform and is expected to sell out within 24 hours. We are actively working to secure additional inventory, but there is no guarantee selling out within 24 hours. Crypto is terrible right now. Pretty much all asset classes are doing terrible. Equity, real estate, precious metals. And Ripple's still selling out There's obviously big institutional demand. These accredited investors with hundreds of millions of dollars. Why are they bullish on Ripple? I think we know why. Some quick regulatory stuff. Things are changing for regulators. The House Financial Services Committee and its various subcommittees are about to go to town on the SEC and the IRS. See ya, Gary. Gary Gensler, the guy that went after Kim Kardashian when the biggest fraud for the past 30 years, Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, was let go. Not even let go, but Gary Gensler was actually meeting with the guy, working with the guy. Disgusting. And House Representative Tom Emmer, Gary Gensler is once again late to the game, protecting no one. Quite clear that his political regulation through enforcement strategy hurts everyday Americans. And this is on the news that the SEC is now charged Genesis and Gemini, one of the biggest crypto exchanges, for unregistered securities offerings. And I want to play you guys this clip talking about this imminent financial collapse, the U.S. massive debt, and it's going to lead me into talking about gold. You're going to want to see what I have found.
There was a time you went to college campuses and you talked about an equity and debt. I think in this case it wasn't necessarily Fed-induced, but it was entitlement-induced. Yeah. And it could come, this was 10 years ago, and I think you said sometime between, Nostradamus. You said 2020 and 2035.
Yeah.
So it's 2000, is it 2022? Is it happening?
We are in deep trouble. So everything I said at those colleges is worse in terms of the metrics, except for one thing. And what I miscalculated was I didn't calculate zero rates, I used 4% rates. In 2016 was don't cut Social Security, don't cut entitlements. So nothing was done. Joe Biden has excoriated Rick Scott because he dared mention maybe we shouldn't be increasing senior pays. But if you look at the reversal I just talked about, and you use the CBO estimate, which is rates at 3.8%, which I think, frankly, is pretty optimistic, given all the things we've talked about. By 2027, the interest expense alone on the debt eats all healthcare spending.
By 2040, the interest expense on the debt wipes out all healthcare spending, and it gets worse.
2047, it eats all discretionary spending. So we're now getting into fiscal dominance. By the way, by 49, it eats all Social Security. We're getting to the point.
Sorry, I was muted. So by 2049, the interest expense on the debt, absolutely crazy. Not the debt itself, just the interest will be more than the Social Security payments. So we know this future current economic system is not feasible. It's not going to work. Sometimes things need to be broken to rebuild. And that leads me to this video right here. What do the central bankers know that we don't know? And then I'm going to show you my gold bombshell.
What do central banks know that we don't know?
What they know is how they're going to rig it. And we don't know when they're going to do it and how they're going to do it. But again, as I was saying, why would you keep your money in a bank when they're not paying you anything and they're making money on your money? So going back to gold, and again, as you well know, everybody knows, we have no advertisers in the Trends Journal magazine. So we're not pumping anybody. To us, gold is the #1 safe haven asset. When gold went down into the 1600s a few months ago, we said this is the bottom, it's going up from now. And now it's been hitting, several month highs. Again, when they go digital, gold is going to go through the roof.
So we know everything's going digital, including the global financial system. This guy is speculating gold is going to go through the roof when that happens. Now we know central banks have been buying up tons of gold this year. Just alone in the past year, demand for gold is up 28%. Obviously, gold is typically a safer asset. There's not huge gains. And amid this scorching inflation, we've seen more demand for gold. But here's for the bombshell I want to show you guys. JP Morgan Chase And I said, this is why you follow me on Twitter. All right. So if you guys haven't already, smash that like button and go follow Drippy XRP on Twitter. Links in the video description below. JP Morgan Chase and Citibank hold 90% of all gold and other precious bank metals derivatives held by all U.S. banks. And this is when JP Morgan, stopped classifying gold derivatives contracts as foreign exchange swaps. So like these banks manipulate tons of public information and data, they were calling the gold derivatives contracts on their balance sheets as foreign exchange swaps. And when they changed that classification, look at how much precious metals these banks actually have. Now, like a lot of data, I don't know how true this is, but this is from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. So I'd say that is a pretty reliable source. So pretty crazy stuff, guys. Look at how much gold they have. Let me know in the comment section. I know we all like XRP. What are your thoughts on precious metals? Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families.